Hello everyone, Erica Harris here from RiseToday.com. I am excited, I am humbled, and I am honored to get to be here with you today to share my powerful story of survival with you. I'm excited to get to do so at this time of coronavirus where the world has just been blindsided and caught up in hardship, and I am excited for the chance to open up the conversation of hardship, to share tools to stay the course and to even thrive through this adversity and through any adversity that comes our way. I will share some tools to do so as I share my story with you. And so in my previous life, as I've now come to call it, I had lived a life passionate about health and wellness. I had even established a very successful career as a thriving sports chiropractor. I inspired my community to attain its best health status, and I certainly practiced what I preached. I hiked every mountain, and I soared down them all on my skis, smiling ear to ear and just brimming with happiness. Cancer was not on my agenda. I was very happily married. I was a doting mom to two wee, tiny boys. But as I was still nursing my youngest at the age of 35, I was devastatingly diagnosed with acute myeloid leukemia. And this diagnosis proved to be a very aggressive version of leukemia. Despite my most valiant of valiant fights, being admitted as a full-time resident, I call myself, to our province's largest hospital, which I call my hotel, I did not respond to even the harshest of chemotherapy regimens known as salvage chemotherapy. This was back in 2012. And because of this, I was devastatingly awarded a 2-month terminal prognosis, and I was even denied all further medical care aside from palliative care moving forward. Sounds came out of me that I did not know even existed beforehand. I just had this fierce yearning to get to be mommy to my two beautiful boys as they grew, and I was just devastated beyond words, as I'm sure you can imagine. I fought to go home. If I had 2 months to live, I did not want to spend that on the palliative floor. I fought to go home and be with my loves if I had a lot of living to do in this time. My first step was to go to Seattle, which is a leading leukemia institute, another leading leukemia institute in Seattle, and I sought a second opinion, and devastatingly, they awarded the very same opinion and predicted this dire prognosis to come true. So I was truly sent home with this death sentence. I prepared for the worst. I made the video recordings and wrote the heartfelt letters to my boys, all with tears streaming down my face. At the same time, I prepared for the best and expected the best, and I pursued my fight of fights in the natural healthcare pursuits. We were so blessed. Our story just took heart all across the world, and strangers and friends and family far and wide sent us contacts in Japan and in Israel and all over in the natural healthcare realm with pursuits to pursue. And I pursued each and every one. For example, green juicing, vitamin injections through naturopathic physicians, meditation, the power of prayer, waving crystals, I mean, you name it. And I pursued it. Visualization was powerful to me. And I converted fear into faith in this process. And miraculously, I attained remission through my fierce yearning to get to still be mummy. The story did not end there. Sadly, I was told I needed a bone marrow transplant, as that would serve as the quote unquote cure to prevent against relapse from having such an aggressive leukemia. My only brother proved not to be a match, and in turn a worldwide search was hailed on my behalf to find a perfect donor, with amazingly so much heartfelt gratitude for this complete stranger who rose to help from halfway around the world in my time of need. As he proved to be my perfect match, this complete stranger in Germany, this young mountain adventurer, just rose up to help in my time of need. How blessed I was. Only then was I able to serve as this recipient for this life-saving bone marrow transplant. He gave me this second chance. We're officially Facebook friends, and his last name is Hope, but to me it's Hope, for all the hope that he had brought to my path and to my journey. I grew strong. I was back to hiking every mountain and soaring down them all on my skis. But this burst of good health proved to be short-lived, as my new strong, hardy immune system decided one day that it did not recognize my own lungs and had embarked on this fierce process of attack, just like it would a cold or a flu. Did a very thorough job. I fell to 84 pounds. I was crazy sick, prescribed full-time oxygen. I lost my vision in this time because of the harsh medications. I was told my only chance of survival would be a double lung transplant. How does one come to grapple that for something great to happen to me, something terrible had to happen to somebody else? Staying the course of each day was brutally hard. I couldn't watch television. I couldn't even see the television. I couldn't read a book. I couldn't drive. I had lost every bit of independence I had once had. I didn't know if this gift of gifts would come true. Staying the course of each day was so hard, but only with thanks and immense gratitude to the family of another who bestowed the gifts of gifts amidst their most trying of times. Was I blessed with the gift of new lungs and the gift of breath, a gift we all so readily take for granted. But the rise and fall did not stop and only continued. I faced more unexpected complications, sadly. With the gift of new lungs came the gift of a new virus that I had never otherwise been exposed to. I faced another year-long hospitalization. It's a very prevalent virus in the general community. Over 90% of our population has been exposed. I sadly had just never been exposed. And I struggled developing my own immunoglobulins because of my bone marrow transplant. I grew resistant to all forms of medication available. I attained kidney damage. I lost vision in my right eye. Again, staying the course was so hard. Again, permanent resident of the hospital. Other staff would see me in the elevator so often and they would ask what floor I used to work on. And I'm like, no, permanent resident. I'm just hoping they start to award some frequent flyer points. And miraculously, in the spring of 2017, I just started developing my own fighters to this bug, and I eventually grew strong. I was finally discharged and so excited for that calm after the storm once I was finally back and home on the home front again, and just so excited to be there. Devastatingly, again, my husband decided to file for divorce right at that time, and I then had to figure out how to navigate this whole world in my recovery as a single young mom. I had to move households and really start over. Stress and anxiety is a huge part of survivorship and kind of just standing in the world and kind of looking out lost. I couldn't return to my profession as a sports chiropractor. I would never have that physical strength that I once had, and I'm always going to be immune compromised. So this world of COVID that we now live in is a world that I always live in, because even colds or bugs are at risk, are a risk for me. And so returning to my own profession, very close-natured profession, was just off the books. And so kind of standing there, divorced, at the end of this path, not really sure which way to turn, it took a lot, it took a very powerful mindset to push through that. And I am happy to share with you that despite all of these obvious hardships, I just feel so infinitely blessed. I feel as though I've been chosen to go through this tidal wave and be pummeled around and around and around, to come out of it with all the blessings that are now in my heart as a result. And I just have this calm in my heart that I never otherwise had, and this immense gratitude for each and every moment. I'm like that annoying girl that sees a flower and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's just the most beautiful flower I've ever seen, and truly just filled with such gratitude. Happiness is a choice, my friends. And the mindset we hold is our most powerful tool. No matter what we are going through, we can defy the odds. We can choose happy. We are in control of our own destiny, and we need to act like it. We need to take accountability for our actions. I'm going to share a couple things that might help you do so. So form your community of support. So important, of other like-minded people that understand your journey, that have similar life circumstances. You have to source out these other connections, You have to find inspirational role models to keep up that inspiration. Fuel your mind, just resonate with inspirational podcasts and fuel your mind, grow from the inside out, burst this cocoon. Like, we're all in this phase of cocooning with coronavirus. Let's burst from the inside out and grow ourselves with inspiration, with learning new tools and tasks. I always recommend to my coaching clients that they implement a coping mantra or a power statement. It's a little bit different than using an affirmation. And this power statement, I'm all about affirmations as well, but this power statement and this coping mantra can really be used in a time where we're feeling a little bit escalated, where we're feeling a little bit stressed. And we can kind of repeat our power statement in our mind, which helps bring us down, and we can strategize our best plan at that point. We can't really create a plan to rise when we're stressed or escalated or elevated. So really using this power statement, repeating our power statement to ourselves. No one outside around us even needs to know that we're doing this, but it brings us down to a better mindset where we can choose our course of action and not just react. We can respond how we want to respond. So I'm here to open up this conversation of hardship. Allow yourself to truly feel the emotion that comes with negative experiences and negative emotions. When we bottle it up and we don't truly allow ourselves to feel it, it grows and it festers within us. So truly let yourself create that safe space to be vulnerable and to express the hurt, whether it's through music, throwing a squeezy ball against the wall, just crying, letting it out, and creating this safe space where you can share your true and authentic heart with others who are understanding and empathetic and not judgmental. Only then are we able to shine our true and inherent positivity forth. But unless we're able to take this first step of really letting out the vulnerability and the hurt and the grief and the loss and the anger that can all come in tow with crisis and adversity, we can't get to that next step of achieving true and genuine positivity. Great to be with you here today. If you have any questions, if you're struggling through an adversity, I am here to support and inspire and to motivate you to choose happy, to achieve greater levels of well-being, no matter where you are on the spectrum of sick to healthy, poor to rich. No matter where you are, you can choose happy today. You can own every second of the gift of today, and you can make today count. I'm here to help you do just that. Dr. Erica Harris at risetoday.com. Have a great, great day, everyone, and own every second. All the best.